Most people think Tesla is untouchable, a revolutionary car company that changed the game, pushed the entire industry toward electrification, and made Elon Musk a household name. But once you look under the hood, figuratively and literally, you'll start to see things that Tesla doesn't exactly advertise. From hidden costs to quietly rolled back features, today we're breaking down 10 secrets Tesla doesn't want you to know. And by the time we hit number 10, you'll never look at a Tesla the same way again. Tesla's self-driving isn't what you think it is. Let's start with the elephant in the room, Tesla's full self-driving feature. On paper, it sounds like something from the future. You pay thousands of dollars for what seems like a cutting-edge system that can drive the car for you, detect hazards, switch lanes, and even park itself. But here's the truth, Tesla's FSD isn't fully autonomous, not even close. In fact, it's legally still considered a level 2 driver assist system, which means the human driver must remain fully engaged at all times. Yet Tesla markets it using language that heavily implies autonomy, leading thousands of people to believe their car can drive itself safely. And yes, that's led to accidents, real ones. There have been over a dozen high-profile incidents where Tesla vehicles operating under FSD or autopilot mode were involved in crashes, some fatal. In response, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, has opened multiple investigations, and in 2023, Tesla even had to recall over 2 million vehicles to update the software. And here's the kicker, drivers who opt into the FSD beta program are essentially test subjects. There's no federal standard yet, so Tesla uses the real world as its lab, with you, the driver, unknowingly helping develop a product you already paid up to $15,000 for. Even more concerning, Tesla has quietly scaled back some FSD capabilities depending on location and regulation. In Europe, for instance, many features are locked or heavily restricted, and in certain US states, functionality can change overnight with an over-the-air update. You don't even have control over it. One day your car can make unprotected left turns, the next day, nope, software downgraded. Tesla repairs aren't just expensive, they're a nightmare. The worst part, Tesla doesn't need to prove the mod broke something. If they suspect it might have, that's often enough to refuse warranty service. It's a dangerous game that a lot of owners don't realize they're playing until they're stuck with a $5,000 repair and a "sorry, this isn't covered" email. Supercharging may be convenient, but it's not always cheaper. Most drivers assume that switching to a Tesla will automatically save them money on fuel. Gas prices are brutal, right? So plug in, charge up, and enjoy the savings. That's the pitch. But here's what Tesla doesn't mention in the brochures. Supercharging isn't always cheaper than gas. In fact, depending on your state and charging habits, you might actually pay more. Supercharger pricing is dynamic. It changes based on demand, time of day, and location. And in some areas, particularly in California and the Northeast, Tesla has quietly raised supercharger rates well above the national average. In 2024, some supercharger locations charge over 60 cents per kilowatt hour during peak hours. For comparison, a full charge on a Model Y long range, 75 kilowatt hour battery, can cost over $45. And if you're doing that multiple times a week because you don't have home charging, you're paying more than someone filling up a fuel-efficient gas car. And speaking of home charging, that's not free either. Residential electricity rates are rising nationwide, and EV owners have seen noticeable jumps in their utility bills. Sure, you might get a cheaper rate with a time of use plan, but now you're adjusting your lifestyle around your car's schedule. Midnight charging sessions, load balancing issues, and surprise power outages are more common than you think. And don't forget Tesla's idle fees. If you finish charging at a supercharger and don't move your car fast enough, Tesla starts charging you extra, sometimes up to $1 per minute until you leave. That's their way of keeping stalls available, but it's also a hidden cost that can catch new owners off guard. The bottom line, supercharging is a fantastic perk if you use it occasionally, but if you rely on it like a gas station, expect to pay a premium, and possibly more than you would at the pump. Tesla doesn't have a traditional recall process. When a traditional automaker discovers a defect, whether it's a faulty airbag, brake issue, or fire hazard, they issue a recall through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA. You get a letter in the mail, schedule a repair with your local dealer, and they fix it, usually for free. Tesla, they do things differently. They issue what they call over-the-air recalls, which means the fix comes as a software update. Sounds convenient, right? But the implications are deeper. First, not every problem can be fixed remotely. In 2023, Tesla recalled more than 2 million vehicles to adjust autopilot alerts. But the fix? It was just a minor software change that increased how often the driver gets prompted to keep their hands on the wheel. If your autopilot system has a deeper issue, like faulty sensors, failing radar modules, or a cracked camera lens, that recall doesn't help you. You're still stuck booking a service appointment. Second, Tesla rarely explains the full scope of the issue. Their recall notes are vague, intentionally so. You might read that a software patch enhances system robustness or improves vehicle response. But what does that actually mean? Was there a dangerous flaw that's now being quietly patched? Tesla's opacity keeps the public in the dark, and because there's no third-party dealership network acting as a buffer, you're relying 100% on Tesla's word and timeline. Finally, these remote recalls give Tesla a way to avoid the PR disaster of a massive safety issue. When GM or Ford recalls 2 million cars, it's national news. When Tesla does it with a push notification, it flies under the radar, literally, and that's by design. It helps protect their brand while minimizing public panic. If your car has a real defect, you might not even realize it was serious because the recall just feels like a routine software update. That's convenient for Tesla, but for you, it's a potential safety risk you didn't fully understand and couldn't prepare for. Tesla's insurance isn't always the better deal. Tesla offers its own insurance program in certain states, marketed as Designed for Tesla Owners by Tesla. It promises lower premiums, better integration with your vehicle's data, and faster claims. But here's the catch. Tesla insurance is based on your real-time driving behavior. Your speed, braking, cornering, and even how closely you follow other vehicles are all tracked and scored. If you thought your monthly rate was locked in, you're wrong. Tesla adjusts your premium based on your safety score. Drive a little too aggressively for a few weeks, your next bill goes up. That might seem fair in theory, but it's also invasive. Tesla collects constant telemetry on your every move and uses it to decide what you owe. And if there's a dispute, say you're involved in an accident and the telemetry doesn't match what you experienced, it's Tesla's word against yours. They control the data, the insurance, and the claims process. That's a serious conflict of interest. You wouldn't want your health insurance managed by the same hospital you're suing for malpractice, right? But that's essentially what Tesla insurance creates. And here's something that gets almost no attention. If you choose not to use Tesla insurance, some third-party providers now charge higher premiums for Teslas because of the complexity and cost of repairs. Teslas are often considered luxury performance. EVs with high repair costs and expensive parts. So you're either stuck with Tesla's surveillance-based plan, or you pay a premium elsewhere. It's a lose-lose scenario that more Tesla owners are waking up to. In fact, some have started selling their Teslas just to escape the insurance trap. That's how bad it can get. Tesla updates can make your car worse, not better. This one might surprise you the most. Tesla's over-the-air software updates are often praised as revolutionary. No other car brand rolls out new features or performance upgrades like Tesla. One day you wake up and your car suddenly has better range or smarter navigation, but not all updates are improvements. In fact, some updates remove features or restrict performance, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. One infamous example? In 2021, Tesla pushed an update that removed lumbar support adjustments from the front passenger seat in Model 3 and Model Y vehicles. No warning, no refund, just gone. Tesla claimed data showed it wasn't being used enough, but customers who paid for that feature had no recourse. Another update throttled acceleration and top speed in certain models due to battery protection improvements. Translation, Tesla silently limited performance to reduce wear on aging batteries. While that might be good for longevity, it also means your car no longer performs the way it did when you bought it. Even autopilot behavior can change. After regulatory pressure, Tesla altered how quickly the car responds to green lights and how aggressively it changes lanes. Some owners reported their cars feeling less confident and more hesitant after the update. Changes that directly affect safety and experience. And here's the scary part. You can't opt out. Tesla's system requires updates to maintain compatibility with navigation, supercharging, and warranty terms. If you refuse updates, you risk bricking core functions. So in essence, you have no control. Tesla can take away features, slow your car down, or alter how it drives, all without your consent. That's not just frustrating, it's a dangerous precedent. No other car brand exercises that level of post-purchase control. It's like buying a smartphone that randomly deletes apps you paid for, but this isn't a phone, it's your car.